University Christian Ministries, SFU, is a community of students at Simon Fraser University whose mission it is to tell others about Jesus. And one of their campus workers is here today to talk about her calling and this unique ministry where God has placed her. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Millie.
Hello. Thanks
Now,
for having me.
yeah, it was, oh, well, of course, it's a pleasure. Now, you're a missionary on a university campus. For those watching, what does that mean?
So I believe that university campuses are a very strategic mission field. And university students are at this stage of their lives when they are learning and exploring new ideas and, new worldviews. And I mean, sometimes we understand that that's how some younger Christians may walk away from Jesus, but it also allows those who don't know him yet to kind of receive the gospel. So us, we campus missionaries, we help Christian students to live out the Great Commission on campus, as well as make Jesus known among the larger student body. So that's what we do.
Well, thank you for doing it, because I actually believe you are in the front lines of the ideological battle that we're facing in our country. And the truth is that there's a very strong message, a narrative that is being promoted on university campuses, and you are able to counter that with the truth and the hope that we have in Jesus. So thank you. So my question to you is, how did this begin for you? What part of your faith journey impacted you to do what you're doing today?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So actually, Simon Fraser University is not just where I have been doing ministry for more than 8 years, but it is also where I myself tested how far I can get away from God, I guess. So in 2010, I was an exchange student from Hong Kong at SFU. And well, as an exchange student, you want to make new friends. And for some reason back then, I thought the easiest way to do it is to go to parties. And I would, party until 2 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday and then go to church at 10 a.m. So that experience has made me realize how important, building Christian community on campus and have spiritual friendships, how those things are important for university students.
Yeah, well, I agree, because for many students, they're far from home, as you were.
Mm-hmm.
They feel lonely, lost, misplaced, and so they're trying to find identity and security. And so,
Totally.
yeah, they go to what is provided, and so you're providing an alternative. But I mean, I can imagine that's challenging, because campus life is, like you said, quite different than the way of Jesus. So what are some of the challenges you face on a daily basis?
Yeah, honestly, when I think about challenges that I face on a daily basis, I would think about more the fact that we just don't have enough missionaries on campus. Jesus' teaching in Matthew chapter 9 is still true today, right? Like the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. We have actually at FFU, we have not had a male staff member for almost a year now. But God is still working. He's still bringing so many guy students to our ministry. Honestly, what a good problem to have. And also a big shout out to our student leaders, guy student leaders. I understand there is a lot to consider, when applying to a job that is fundraised and, in the expensive Metro Vancouver area and with inflations and all that. Our community is really seeing this need, and we are fasting and praying right now for a godly man to say yes to Jesus and to this calling. While we are waiting on God, we as a staff team, we really, really need the wisdom to know how to disciple students of the opposite gender.
So what you're saying is, if you're a guy watching, we need you at SFU to be a missionary today. That's a great challenge. Yeah, come sign up right now. Awesome. Well, I think there's a lot of our viewers who might think, though, that most university students aren't even interested in the gospel at all. I think that would be a typical stereotype. So what are you actually discovering? You're on the ground, you're doing it. What are Canadian students, university students from all over the world, facing, and how does the gospel answer some of their deepest needs?
Yeah, I can think about just like the culture that we're living in. I'm thinking like hustle culture. Like, students are like trying their best to, achieve their goals and whatnot. And like, university students, a lot of them are high achievers. They try to maximize what they can do with the time that they have. And yeah, like, some of them, they're taking full course load and having a part-time job. And then on top of that, doing like extracurricular activity for the resume, right? So there's this false belief that if they try hard enough, then they can achieve their goals. But the problem is that, like, for Christians, like they've never asked God if that is how they want them to live their life. And also like that's how like all the mental health challenges may affect them, because they're just so stressed all the time. And like when they cannot achieve their goals, and there's like a lot of grief and pain. And sometimes for them, like they would go to tangible things to numb this pain and stress, right? Like addictions would come up. And I'm not even thinking about substance abuse, but like it could just be addicted to your phone, or even for some people pornography and things like that. So I think that's where like spiritual disciplines and just like spending time with Jesus and finding that everlasting joy in Jesus can come in and be like this good news for these students who are stressed and struggling in their mental health and in addictions.
I love that. The passage I thought of as you were talking was, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened." And many university students are burdened, and I will give you rest. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the great work you're doing. We're cheering you on. We're praying for you and believing with you for great victory. Thanks for being here today, Millie.
Thank you.